So before me, I'm going to ask you to hydrate. Cool. 2 sections. Thank you, Jesus. I'm counting just on your goodness. I am just counting on you're not the God like the deists say, where you made the world and then just rounded this and then took a step back and see how the clock goes until it stops, how the top spins until it stops spinning. You're a God who created us with purpose to cultivate, be about people of life. And we mucked it up with that purpose. I mucked it up with that purpose. But yet you sent your son, yourself, to enable us to be life people, to be part of the movement that is ushering in life for the other time and time again. I thank you. So when I and we read the writings of the ancients, please reveal to us what it meant to them in their time and what it meant through your eyes, Jesus. He said all scripture points towards you, and please let those ancient concepts sink in so that we can then apply it for today in the 21st century complications. Amen. The servant's servant. Listen, foreign shores, to me. Give heed, people far away. Yahweh summoned me from the womb. For my mother's insides, he made mention of my name. He made my mouth like a sharp sword. In the shadow of his hand, he hid me. He made me into a burnished arrow. In his quiver, he concealed me. He said to me, you are my servant, Israel. In you, I will show my majesty. But I myself said it was to no end that I toiled, to emptiness and purposelessness that I used up my strength. Yet a decision for me is with Yahweh. My earnings are with my God. Now Yahweh has said, the one who formed me from the womb as a servant for him, by bringing Jacob back to him, so that Israel might not withdraw. And I have found honor in Yahweh's eyes, and my God has become my strength. He has said, it's slight your being a servant for me, to raise Jacob's clans and bring back Israel's shoots. I'll make you into a light of nations, to be my deliverance to the end of the earth. Yahweh has said this, Israel restore its Holy One, to one despised in spirit, loathed by nations, to a servant of rulers. Kings will see and rise, leaders, and they will fall prostrate. For the sake of Yahweh, who is trustworthy, Israel's Holy One, he chose you. Yahweh has said this, and in time of favor I'm answering you. On a day of deliverance I'm helping you. I will guard you and make you into a covenant for people, by raising up the country, by sharing out the desolate shares, by saying to captives, go out, to people in darkness, appear. Along the roads they will pasture. On all the bare places will be their pasture. They will not hunger and not thirst. Kahemson and sun won't strike them, because the one who has compassion on them will lead them and guide them by springs of water. I will make all my mountains into a road. My highways will rise up. There, these will come from afar. There, these from the north and the west, and these from the country of Shinan. Resound heavens and rejoice earth. Mountains, break into sound, because Yahweh is comforting his people. He will have compassion on his lowly ones. All right, any themes you noticed in my reading? So there's definitely I have seen where he's calling all the nations to get back to actually Yahweh. Listen, it looks like there is definitely a Mashiach, a one. You see hope? Nice. Yeah, hope for the future. Good. For Israel's Holy One. He is comforting his people. That's good. That's a good theme, Char. A few weeks ago, I had to preach at the ordination of a friend. She asked me to choose a passage as a scripture reading from which I would preach. She laughed when I told her it would be the first of these 2 paragraphs because, she commented, everyone knew that her mouth was a sharp sword. But that was not what drew me to the passage. I believe that God called her from before she was born and had been involved with her through the 30 years that had passed, including the tough times, which had been tough indeed. God gave her the sharp sword of a tongue that pastors need if they are to confront as well as comfort. God calls her to be a servant, with the protection as well as the subservience that means. God calls her to embody what it means to be the people of God. He calls her to hang on and hope when things are discouraging. God calls her not to be surprised if she ends up with a vocation that is even bigger than anything we can imagine on the day of her ordination. So it was for the second Isaiah. The ministry he has been exercising the people in the context of the exile has brought him and God to an impasse. Israel is God's servant. God's servant has a role to fulfill, but Israel seems incapable of fulfilling it. Yet God cannot simply give Israel the sack. I wonder if the prophet has been wrestling with the question of what God can possibly do now, as Paul will later wrestle with the implication of his people's refusal to recognize Jesus as Messiah. Whether the prophet has been doing so or not, he becomes aware that God does have a plan C. Plan A was Adam and Eve, plan B was Abraham and Israel. His description of his call before he was born reminds us of Jeremiah, whereas the original Isaiah lived before Jeremiah. This second Isaiah lived after Jeremiah. Paul will take up the language again in Galatians 1 to describe his call, as Jeremiah's call designated him a prophet in relation to the nations. So this prophet addresses foreign shores and speaks of having a ministry that involves attack, presumably on the imperial power of Babylon. By declaring that Babylon is about to fall, he implements God's aggressive word, which will free the Judahites and thus manifest Yahweh's power. Though the Judahites have to be worried about the possibility that resisting Yahweh's message could mean the sword recoiling on them. His call also promised him protection, which links with his being designated Yahweh's servant. There's nothing so surprising about this designation. Yahweh had designated the original Isaiah my servant, but the previous chapters emphasizes on Israel's being Yahweh's servant gives the designation new significance. It's in light of Israel's inability to function as Yahweh's servant that the prophet hears Yahweh saying to him, "You're my servant." Yahweh elaborates the point by adding that as servant, he is the Israel in whom Yahweh will show his majesty. In the context in which Israel cannot function as Israel, he is called to do so, to be Israel's stand-in. His problem is the related fact, implicit in preceding chapters, that he is a failure as a prophet. No one takes any notice of him. Yet he has summoned up the trust in Yahweh to be believed that this won't be the end of the story. Indeed, he has received a more shattering revelation. He has seen that he had a role in relation to Israel, to seek to get them to turn back to Yahweh. He has not had much success with the commission. He now senses Yahweh giving him a bigger one. He is to be a light to nations, to bring Yahweh's deliverance to the end of the earth. Hence, in part, his addressing foreign shores and peoples far away, through proclaiming what Yahweh will do and putting Babylon down and freeing the Judahites to go home. The prophet will bring light and deliverance to the nations. Part of the evidence is that he was not deluding himself in giving his account of his calling is the fact that we're reading his message now and being enlightened by it. Paul also takes up this aspect of his account of his vocation in describing his ministry in Acts 13. The promise to Israel that follows is this, in the second paragraph, again confirms that God hasn't finished with his original servant. The prophet's servanthood in this connection is a temporary expedient. At the moment, Israel is a servant of rulers instead of the servant of Yahweh. But Israel is still destined to be a covenant for people, an embodiment of what it means to be a covenant with Yahweh that will draw people to acknowledge Yahweh and seek that relationship for themselves. It's the restoring of the Judahite community that will demonstrate The Yahweh is the God of compassion and comfort, which is good news for members of Israel scattered all over the world. Anything you saw that John Golden Gate was saying? So what's cool is it's also talking about how Israel has failed. So now the second Isaiah is taking up the role for Israel. But that doesn't mean that he has given up on Israel, the nation. All right. Isaiah chapter 49 to chapter 50. Sure. You just can't help yourself. Robin wonders the same thing. Robin loves sweet potatoes. They're sweet. When I eat food, I want savory 99% of the time. Unless I'm having a dessert, then I want sweet. I like, besides, like, I do enjoy the occasional sweet and sour chicken. Like, or orange chicken, I mean. Like, from, sometimes I like those occasionally, but it's not too often. Okay, so we did Habakkuk last time. A regular potato, you can make it savory. All right. Let me quickly grab. So I cooked 2 hot dogs. Let me grab them. All right, do it.
Hey, what is this? Squid saying?
Hi, I'm a squid.
He's saying hi, hi, hi.
It's the restream squid.
So that was like, hi, hi,
Mm-hmm.
hi.
I. Like that.
This stuff is not spicy at all, but this is.
I mean, makes sense. That's salsa. But you know they had a really spicy nacho that was right next to it. Do you know, like, the flaming hot chips that Daddy eats? The red chips. They had nachos that had just that, that coating. I'm not the picker of the soap.
That's so funny.
If I was picking the soap, it'll be the most basic soap because I think economically it'll be like the biggest tub.
Scented soaps more expensive?
Oh, yeah.
Try this.
I never noticed the difference until you said
Try
that.
it.
Okay. Ow.
Okay, ready.
That's good. Wait, let's watch. Oh. I forgot something. That's the only way. That's the only way.
Hey, Dad, do you want to try the salsa and the
Sure.
cheese?
Sure. Yeah, 1 second. She's just feeding me a chip. Right.
The Book of the Prophet Nahum. This short prophetic book is a collection of poems announcing the downfall of one of Israel's worst oppressors, the ancient empire.
All right.
The Book of the Prophet Nahum. This short prophetic book is a collection of poems announcing the downfall of one of Israel's worst oppressors, the ancient empire of Assyria, and its capital city, Nineveh. The Assyrians arose as one of the world's first great empires, and their expansion into Israel resulted in the total destruction and exile of the northern kingdom and its tribes. The Assyrian armies were violent and destructive on a scale that the world had never seen before, and so Israel and its neighbors were awaiting the downfall of Assyria, which eventually came in the year 612 BC. The Babylonians rose up and began a rebellion that overtook Nineveh and brought down the Assyrian Empire. And so, chapter 2 depicts the fall of Nineveh in vivid poetry, and chapter 3 then explores the downfall of the empire as a whole. But this book isn't just an angry tirade against Israel's enemies. The introductory chapter shows us that there is way, way more going on here. The book opens with an incomplete alphabet poem that begins by describing a powerful appearance of God's glory. It's very similar to how the previous book, Micah, began and how the next book, Habakkuk, is going to conclude. And it's God, the all-powerful creator, coming to confront the nations and bring his justice on their evil. And the poem opens by quoting from the famous line of God's self-description after the golden calf incident in the book of Exodus chapter 34. The Lord is slow to anger. He's great in power. He won't leave evil unpunished. And so the rest of the poem goes back and forth, contrasting the fate of the arrogant, violent nations with the fate of God's faithful remnant. When God brings down all the arrogant empires, he will provide refuge for those who humble themselves before him. Now, here's what's really interesting, is that you thought this book was only about Assyria, but Nahum actually nowhere mentions Nineveh or Assyria in chapter 1. And when he describes the downfall of the bad guys, he uses Isaiah's language about the fall of Babylon, which happened much later in history. And not only that, Nahum also describes the downfall of the bad guys as good news for the remnant of God's people. It's a direct allusion to Isaiah's good news about the downfall of Babylon. And so all these little details from chapter 1, they come together to make a key point. For Nahum, the fall of Nineveh is being presented as an example, as an image of how God is at work in history in every age, how he won't allow the arrogant or violent empires of our world to endure forever. And so the message of Nahum is actually very similar to that of Daniel. Assyria stands in a long line of violent empires throughout history, and Nineveh's fate is a memorial to God's commitment to bring down the violent and the arrogant in every age. With this perspective from the opening chapter, the book then returns to its focus on Assyria. And so chapter 2 describes the Battle of Nineveh and the overthrow of the city in progressive stages. So first we see the front line of Babylonian soldiers, and then we read about the charge of the chariots, and then the chaos on the city walls as the city is breached, then the slaughter of Nineveh's people, then the plundering of the city. Chapter 3 goes on to describe the results of the city's downfall for the empire as a whole. So Nahum begins by announcing a woe upon the city whose kings built it with the blood of the innocent. It's an image of how injustice was built into the very system that made Assyria so successful. But their violence has sown the seeds of their own destruction, and so Assyria will fall before Babylon. The book concludes with a taunt against the fallen king of Assyria. He's stricken with the fatal wound, and from among all the nations that he once oppressed, no one comes to help him. Rather, they sing and celebrate his destruction. And that's how the book ends. Now, this is a gloomy book, but it's important to see how Nahum's message addresses the tragic and perpetual cycles of human violence and oppression in every age. Human history is filled with tribes and nations elevating themselves and using violence to take what they want, resulting in the death of the innocent. And the book of Nahum uses Assyria and Babylon as examples to tell us that God is grieved and that he cares about the death of the innocent, and that his goodness and his justice compel him to orchestrate the downfall of oppressive nations. And God's judgment on evil is good news, unless, of course, you happen to be Assyria. Which brings us all the way back to the conclusion of that opening poem in chapter 1, which tells us that the Lord is good and a refuge in the day of distress. He cares for those who take refuge in him. And so the little book of Nahum invites every reader to humble themselves before God's justice and to trust that in his time he will bring down the oppressors of every time and place. And that's what the book of Nahum is all about.
Takeaways? Oh, yep, takeaways. Any themes you noticed? You came in mid part, but any themes you noticed? Ethan? Any themes you noticed? Yeah. So
Did you already watch the Bible story of Moses?
that'll be another time, but we have. So what's crazy cool about Nahum is Yahweh is judging the nations, and you think with the images that is Assyria, but he actually never mentions a name. And so it looks like this is just showing the series of how Yahweh won't let systems of oppression and evil stand and last. And so just as Assyria was once a system of oppression, now Babylon takes them on, and now then Babylon becomes a system of oppression, and then it just becomes a cycle. The cycle of system of oppression is being brought down. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Tara, we can start, my friend.
This stuff is spicy, and this stuff is not. This salsa.
Ooh, what kind of food do you guys get?
Did you get that from Panda Express?
Eel. In food.
Is that ghost?
Maybe we got gullible on the ceiling. Maybe we're just looking for gullible. There's not actually gullible on the ceiling.
Hey, if there's labels on the ceiling and they drop down to all of the other rooms, I think the kids will love it then.
Charlie.
He's locked in, man. Is it teriyaki chicken, like classic Hawaiian food? Oh, no, it's like red pork.
Change the boy look.
You want to change the boy's look? All right.
Let's actually change the girl that has
Her?
Let's actually change her hair because I don't like it.
You don't like it anymore? You that one? That one? That one? That one? That one.
I like. Hey, wait, go over. I like her.
You like that one? Okay.
Her and I want to.
She just got done getting beat up.
change this.
Want to change it? I don't think he doesn't have too much. He only has a 2. So he just has the regular. You want that one?
I want it to the.
Or you want me to switch the girl? This one? This one?
I like the.
I think alright. You like the flowy clothes? I've already went that way. What Hawaiian place do you go to? Was it a food cart?
Whoa.
The Troutdale ones? I'm just curious. I'm always down trying different stuff, and that does look pretty good. So, and the we're in Troutdale.
Hey, that one's her.
Okay, downtown Troutdale. Okay. Oh.
Whoa. You knocked that one almost down. It's almost down.
That one's down. Downtown. Taking it downtown, punk. That was a big hit.
You knocked down all of them.
Yeah. I said you're going downtown, punk. Okay, I already went this way. Actually, I don't know if I went this way since I just...
Can you tell them
Oh yeah, I already went this way. Alright.
see the girl?
Which one?
The,
That girl? You like this one? And fast travel... I just fast traveled over here because
I think you guys are splitting up.
the team's with me.
Yeah.
You gonna be Luna?
I like it.
You like Luna?
It's locked.
She actually. Oh, I mean, but see how long that takes? How slow it is? That's her sprints. She does a little hover. Mm-hmm.
Those guys have a lot.
Luckily, they're weak to fire.
Okay.
I thought those bad guys were good.
What lovely feet.
right. What new feat did he get? So this guy's thing is when I beat a monster, he cuts a feet off. He cuts like one of their feet off, and then he can transform to it for like as attacks. So I also know that's what. Huh? No, the microphone's in the way. Is that better? Be Sil. That's Sil.
I'll actually be.
You want to be a Luna? You want to be a little floaty?
Yeah.
What have we here?
So, Ethan, but I know Logan brought a Switch. I imagine you could ask Bailey if you want to use her laptop if you want to game also. You're waiting for the char challenge? This is the challenge of the century, man. Are you sure you're ready?
I like it.
Useful.
I mean, I have headphones if you need to borrow headphones. Okay. Oop.
Take your shot.
Oh, right now, Bailey, I'm.
Let's dance.
I can put headphones on, Logan.
I don't want
Yeah? Alright. Like a texture and cheese. Nice.
On me. That's better. Okay.
Violence. Time to lead.
Yep. His shield is ready to be broken. It's like a big stick to hit me.
We need to go.
Battle. What lovely feats.
I won. Found it. Alright. I don't think that monitor has speakers. Do you need to borrow speakers? Hey, Broheim. Is that against a bot, Char? Is that against a bot? Okay.
Dad, beat the turkey.
Okay, cool.
I call it turkey.
Mm. Ooh. I like that. Ooh.
He's like he's rubbing his hair.
Like he's rubbing his hair. You like that?
Like
Hmm. Hmm.
this.
Yeah. He's thinking. I'm a mustache. How dare you say that to your father? I'm your father. You do not talk to me like that. Stop. Okay.
Dora, stop. Dad, you're right. A turkey.
I'm a turkey?
Yeah. You're a
Well, you're a pickle bum bum.
You go on the road now?
You want me to just keep going? Stop looking at my build? Stop myself to min-maxing?
Be the turkey.
Well, if you plug it in, maybe it does. I thought it didn't.
Okay, I'm gonna love you.
Do you got it? Do you need help?
Dad, are you?
I am Luna. This is Luna. Oh, there we go.
Go that way.
I already went that way. I actually went back because Daddy's a silly goose.
I think that's a hole. It will fly.
Mm-hmm.
Will fly or
Yeah, I wish I could. Actually, I can swim over the sea right now with my SK mount.
swim.
But I have to do that outside. That's not where I'm at right now.
An advantage.
To the other island.
I will when the moment presents itself. That's not what's happening right now. Oh, I can go up that. No. Just have to go up and around. I can't tell, Ethan, but I feel like you play this game a lot. Oh, you're on this part? This is where you're stuck?
Hey, you're a bunny. Bunny.
Oh, I thought you were calling Logan a bunny. Oh, yeah. I thought you were a knight. Here. Won't feel it. I just put on headphones. Now you can hear them. You want to hear them or hear me?
That's better. Flames. Brave. Ready to go. Ready to parry. I'm ready. Ready to go.
Your turn to shine.
Full death.
Sweet tasting.
Look out.
Sweet tasting battle.
I feel better. Good. No more tricks. This will hurt.
Good stuff.
Who is she fighting? Her husband? Well, that will help. A storm is coming. Keep going.
Ready to strike. Let's carve a path.
A storm is coming. Chroma is flowing.
Oh my god.
That is too good.
Sweet tasting.
flowing. An advantage. Useful.
Huh? Yeah. Where are you going? Okay. Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, did you? Hey,
Lovely.
What the? Oh. Oh, what? A mime with... Okay. Let's do this.
Keep going.
A bit of violence, yes. Cut him down. Prepare for oblivion.
Doing better. Thunder! Strike quick! Good. Let's keep going.
Foolish move. Oh, really? Watch out! what to choose. Violence.
Roma is flowing. Meet your reckoning. Let us stain them.
Let's carve a path. Cut him down. Break.
So much potential. The eternity of ice. Feeling better.
What lovely feet.
the ink flow. Thunder! Strike wind! Go forward. Lightning dance! Well, that will help. Nice.
Cut him down.
Storm is coming. Feeling better.
Time to end this.
Yeah.
safe spot.
Useful.
This. Saved.